Not this. This. So on Tuesday, which was January or March, not January, what the fuck am I on? March 21st, 2023, the year of our Lord. Patch 10.0.7 was released. And over the last week, I have been playing it. And you know what? I really like this patch. This patch is pretty fucking good. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I didn't expect much because it was a 0.0 patch, and there's not a lot. And usually, if you look at the history books, there isn't a lot with these patches. You know what I mean? Like, they don't really amount to much. Usually, like in the past, let me think. Like in Shadowlands 9.2.5, that gave us like a Blood Elf quest line, I believe, and then like something else, and then cross faction stuff, and that was it, But this time around, there's a lot of fucking shit. Like, there's a lot of fucking shit in this patch. Like, you have the fucking heritage armors, you have the Winterpelt Furbolg faction, we got new monk classes, we got a fucking Bane quest line, we got recruit a friend refresh, and hey, it doesn't list it here, but we also have, wait, no, never mind, it does. It's right here. Return to the Forbidden Reach. And you know what? The Forbidden Reach as its own is pretty good. I'm gonna be honest. I really, really like the Forbidden Reach. I liked it when I did it on my Drakthir, and I like it even more now. However, I will say some of these fucking rares that you have to get to, because the Forbidden Reach is a lot like the Broken Shore, or Korthia to a lesser extent. Maybe more Korthia. But it's got a lot of rares that you can kill, right? And some of the rares, most of the rares, they're not that bad to get to. You just like fly into this cave and kill this fucking dragon, or fly off into a tiny island and kill this giant like Titanic watcher, But then you get to these fucking rares that are actually like inside this one place. I don't know if there's like not really, you can't. It's like over here. You see my mouth? It's like over this way. And it's called like the War or something or another. The War Crash, I believe. And it's full of a bunch of fucking elites. And there's about 3 rares that'll spawn in there. At least from what I've seen. As well as like a nice chest. And to fucking get to these goddamn rares, it's like, you know what? If you are not a rogue, if you are not a class that can just maneuver through all these elites easily, you might as well not even fucking try. Like, I'm a paladin, right? I had the worst fucking time getting to some of these goddamn rares in this thing, and you know what? I didn't even make it in time. And I fucking hated it. Now, that is my one gripe with the Forbidden Reach, is that some of the rares are really stupid to get to. However, everything else has been pretty great. Let me see here. Let me see what I've written. So, my first impressions through this week is that it's good. I really like the Forbidden Reach, and if you liked, like I was talking about earlier, if you liked the Broken Shore, if you liked Korthia, God forbid, but it is kind of like Korthia, if you liked Argus or any of these other stuff, it is that type of vibe. It also, because of how it does its gearing, really reminds me of the Timeless Isle. Because if you remember the Timeless Isle, you would go and you would kill this fucking like elite, right? And then the elite would drop like these, I don't remember the name of it, but they were like cloth shoulders that you could then make into cloth shoulders fit for your spec and your class and all this. And the Forbidden Reach kind of has that, where like you go and kill a rare, or you loot like a chest or whatever, and you can get these different things you can use them and get a piece of gear, and it gives you automatically a primal infused, which is a 385 piece, if I remember correctly, which then can be upgraded if you get a special material on the Forbidden Reach, which I think increases it by 10 item levels, so it goes to 395. So it's like, I think, a little better, or the equivalent to normal gear. But what's nice about the gear on the Forbidden Reach is that, like, if you ain't done fuck off for your vault yet, or not vault, your creation catalyst, if you haven't touched that shit, like, you can go and do the quest, and then you can unlock and upgrade this gear from the Forbidden Reach to like tier gear from Vault of the Incarnates. And if you do this, if you go and, you know, like, if you upgrade it to a full 3 out of 3, so it's a 395 piece, if you go and you change it into a piece of tier gear, it will give you the heroic tint of whatever class set is available to you from Vault of the Incarnates. And I really like that. It's a way to get the Mog without doing the raid, and also it's a way to gear without having to go and struggle and suffer through a fucking raid. And that's the best thing in the world for someone like me, because I'm an outdoor player. I don't like doing the fucking raids, alright? I'll do it once. Actually, I haven't even done it once this expansion yet, but still. You know? I don't have time. So, to know that I can, like, go and do this as an alternative and get the gear, or to know that anybody else can go and do this to kind of supplement if they are going to do the raids. They can just go get this gear, and then eventually they can get the better gear. Like, that's great. I really like that, and they need to do more of that. There was also, this expansion, more story stuff. And the story chapter, there's only one chapter, but it was really solid. It was really good. It made me feel something for Scale Commander Amberthal. And it made me, like, look at Abyssian Ebonhorn and be like, you know what? He's kind of a homie. You know? Do I think that Abyssian's gonna go on and fucking become the aspect of the Black Dragons? No. He is best in the position that he has always been in, which is the position of an advisor. So he will not rule the Black Dragons, okay? Now, if you ask me personally, I know there's stuff from 10.1. I haven't done it yet, and so it's changed a lot of people's minds upon this, but I'm still of the mindset that at the end of the day, Wrathion would probably end up becoming the aspect, but he is going to lean and he's going to rely on those like Sibelian for their knowledge of warfare and experience and stuff like that, and Abyssian for his knowledge and his experience through wisdom and such. You know what I mean? So Wrathion would technically be ruling the Black Dragons, which, like, there's only a couple left, through this idea that they are a council, right? There is no true aspect. He might wield the powers of the aspect, but they are all equal in their own way, if that makes sense. I feel like that's kind of where stuff would end up going. I know there was some weird stuff in 10.1 where a lot of people, like, they saw that Wrathion was becoming disillusioned with the Black Dragonflight and, you know, becoming aspect and all that. But, like, look, I'm gonna be honest. The best leaders are the leaders that don't want to be leaders. Anduin really didn't want to be leader, and he was a pretty damn good leader, right? Now Wrathion, he's been wanting it, but what happens when he doesn't? Well, he gets it, and then if he gets it, he's gonna be like, well, I don't want this, and instead of just, you know, being like, okay, I'm just gonna pass to somebody else, he will take the burden, and he will be like, look, I'm gonna be the guy who's gonna make all the fucking hard choices, and I'm going to make them through wisdom and merit and not, you know, crackhead shit like I did in my younger years. You know what I mean? Now, maybe I'm wrong, you know. Maybe he won't become aspect, but, like, who but him? Because Sibelian, look, I still don't really trust Sibelian, and Abyssian is gonna be honest. Abyssian is too much of a little beta boy to be a fucking aspect. All right. He might be cool, but he a little bitch. It's the same as Sibelian, right? Except they're little bitches in different ways. Because Sibelian is a little bitch because he's like, you know, like, I was actually like a part of like, you know, the Black Dragons before, so like I'm obviously like next in line. And it's like, bro, that's not a good thing if you were a part of that. Where the fuck have you been for the last 10 years? You know what I mean? And Abyssian's been like, well, I've been hiding because I have been ashamed of what I am. And Wrathion's the only one that's been like, you know what? I am what I am. It is what it is. Fuck them. I'm gonna do what I need to do to make sure the Black Dragons are Chads again.